What is up, people? It is me, Monster58, and welcome back to another video review. Today we are going to be kicking off the new year with the new wave of Transformers Legacy United. And to start off, we're going to be reviewing Transformers Legacy United Deluxe Class Animated Universe Bumblebee. This is a figure that I've personally been looking forward to a fair bit because I did grow up with animated. I just never fully watched through it. I might eventually, like I still haven't as an adult nowadays. But very excited to get this because animated was a decent part of my childhood. I'm looking to just get him an Optimus Prime. So sadly, I do not have Prowl to compare. But for the time being, I do think that this is the figure that for animated next Optimus that I'd really like to have in my collection. So, to take a quick look at the box here, you can take a look and see you got some nice artwork here of Bumblebee in his little police car bug mode with the animated universe Bumblebee. Obviously, you got the Legacy United, Transformers, Generations. Got more nice artwork of Bumblebee here on the side for both close-up of his face as well as a close-up of his body. And then you have some more nice, amazing artwork for the 40 years of Transformers. That is 2024. And finally, on the back, you do have your obligatory product shots. But I think for the box, as usual, Hasbro kills it, and I think that's about it. So, let's get this guy out of the box and see how he is. Alrighty, folks, here we have the Transformers Legacy United Deluxe Class Animated Universe Bumblebee out of the box and in his vehicle mode, and I gotta say, this guy looks pretty good. The only thing about this guy is that he's very tiny. So, I'm not a big man. I am a short man, and here's my hand, and here's Bumblebee. As you can see, this guy is not big whatsoever. I mean, he can fit literally in the palm of my hand. But taking a look at the actual vehicle mode, it does look very, very, very good. The only thing is that when you remove these little, the rockets as well as his stingers, right, as we'll call them, we'll take a look at these a bit later. But taking a look at the vehicle mode, this is the only part of the vehicle mode that really irks me, is that there's no, like, windows or anything here, and it just kind of looks ugly right here, like, just this part of the car. But the shape of the car, everything else looks pretty good. As you can see, you do have that iconic black stripe with the one red siren. Nice Autobot logo there on the top as well. You also do have some nice silver painted rims that are mushroom pegged, which I actually prefer. In this case, it means he rolls around very, very well. In addition to that, you do also have some nice black painted tires. The rims are also molded in a very nice way. You do have 5mm, so obviously you have millimeter here, 5mm there, and none on the bottom, but you can't also see much on the bottom. I mean, you can kind of tell what's what already, but in all reality, this is very well done. The only area of this vehicle I think is lacking in paint. You also have, by the way, the nice silver painted headlights there. Is the back. There's no anything on here besides these 5mm right here. But as I showed you earlier, you can take these and then you can peg them onto the car as I had them when they initially launched. But these are nice. They are in this clear plastic. Now people will complain, oh, it's clear plastic, but I don't necessarily mind because this isn't a moving part. Obviously, the longevity of this part will be in question because, again, it's clear plastic, so I don't imagine it'll last an insanely long time. But for the most part, it's still really, really nice. And again, I don't mind it as much on a, like, not the actual Transformer, just as an accessory. I think it's fine. And for the stingers, you can actually just separate these, and then they just plug into the actual, like, rocket parts. You can see there's the peg hole right there. It's kind of hard to see, but you can kind of see it right there. And then here's obviously the little peg that you can peg this onto. But the stingers themselves are very nice. Let's see, we take a look at one here. Very nice transparent blue, light blue plastic with the silver paint. And then you can take both of them and you can plug them together. And then we'll show that in robot mode, how this actually interacts with these two pegs. So we'll actually just set this off to the side for now. But here is the little stinger that Bumblebee has combined, and so it looks very, very nice. And again, we'll take a look at the rocket here on its own. It does look very nice. You do have the nice fins here on the sides. You do have some nice molded in detail all around. It's still very nice. Again, the clear plastic, though, is just what'll get people a little bit antsy. But again, the vehicle mode is very nice. It's just really small, and for a deluxe, it's very small as well. But for a quick comparison, I will set Bumblebee off to the side there. And here is Bumblebee with the Deluxe class Magnius, his wave mate. And yeah, you can see the very big size difference between these two. These are both Deluxe figures. Now, both of these, I will say that this guy does have some pretty nice engineering because he's so much smaller. This guy does also have some good engineering, but I think that part of his robot mode looks a bit funky, as we'll eventually do a review on this guy, but you can definitely see the size difference between the two of these guys. They are very, very different in terms of size, even though that they are deluxe figures. But again, I do think this guy makes up for it. It's just, yeah, this can be a little bit off-putting, seeing how small he actually is. But that's enough of that. Alright guys, now it's time to get into the transformation, which is, well, very simple. Very small figure, very simple. First thing I like to do is you sort of wiggle these doors out. Like so, you can rotate each of these sides down, like so. And then you can essentially flare these out like this, and then this sort of loosens up this entire top section. Now you can take this entire leg section, what will become the legs, and rotate this down. Actually, you should take this part, rotate it up, and essentially you'll see like a little tab there and a little hole there, and then you just rotate this, let the tab rest in there, and then fold this down. But then rotate this all the way around, and then basically you'll click this into place, so you'll notice that there's essentially a tab in there, and then you'll just click that right into place. Then you can then rotate this all the way around so that the yellow part of the waist is facing the front. And then what you can do for the legs is you can split the legs. Now to do an individual leg, it's pretty simple. What you want to do is come around here to the back, flip this panel, flip this panel open like so, and then you can rotate this all the way around. What you can then do, take the foot and you can fold that down, and then there's a heel in there, so if you don't have long nails, and I usually don't, but I need to clip them soon, but you can flip that little heel spur out, then take this, flip this little knee part out, and then just fold this back in, and you have one of the legs basically completed. So again here, flip this out, rotate this all the way around, take the foot, and then you can fold this down, take the heel, and then you can fold that heel out, like so. Then you can take this little knee thing, fold this out like so, and then you can take this and then just fold it, and there you basically have the bottom half of Bumblebee finished, and the top is pretty easy. All you got to do, take this entire section, accordion it down, and then you'll essentially, what you'll notice is that there is a hole there, and then there is a tab right there, and then you just essentially got to rotate this around, tab that into place, and then rotate this up, rotate the head up like so. Then all you gotta do, take the arms, rotate them up like this. Then you can rotate the shoulders all the way back, so they were here before, then you can rotate them up like this, and again do the same here. And then all you gotta do is fold out the hand, fold the door down, rotate the arm around, same thing here. So all you gotta do is take the hand, rotate it all the way out, fold the door here, rotate the arm. And ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers Legacy United Deluxe Class Animated Universe Bumblebee in his little robot mode. And I gotta say, guys, when it comes to this robot mode, this is fantastic. This is really, really good. There are some slight alterations from how he looked in the actual animation model, and just to double check, I'm going to actually pull up the robot mode here on my other screen so I can just double check and make sure. Yeah, there are some slight alterations with specifically here in the feet, like the front of his car, like the headlights should technically be his feet and everything like that. But you do retain pretty much everything else when it comes to Bumblebee, and this is an amazing recreation and modernization of that animated Bumblebee character that we saw so many years ago. Really, really good looking, and I'm very, very happy with how this came out. Again, the only caveat with this guy is that he's small, but I think that the engineering that went into him, as well as just the total package of this guy, well then more makes up for the fact that he is very tiny. Also, these will also probably help make up for the price because there are two of them. Speaking of those, we can do the quick accessories since I'm talking about them anyway. I know we might be doing things out of order, but I'd like to just get them out of the way. So, what's cool is that you can actually attach these stingers to his hands, and the way you do that is you just fold them. And what you'll notice is if I bring this up here, you can see there is a hole there. You can see with the light there. You can see that there's a hole there. And what you do is you just take this and you essentially just plug it in like so. And then what you can do is you can actually recreate the like the scenes where Bumblebee would use both of his stingers, so you can plug them both together. It takes a bit of doing, in my opinion. It's not the easiest thing to do, so we'll just rotate this out and then rotate this down like so. And this is one of the only issues I really have with the robot mode, is just the accessories and how it's used essentially. The only thing that bothers me is that I wish that there was a way you could take these stingers and just one hand them, because they look so awkward otherwise. Sorry about that. Yeah, there we go. I'm stupid. Because in the show, he used to be able to one-hand them on each hand, and because of the way that this is angled, it looks pretty funky. So, of course, there, you can recreate, whoops, you can recreate those iconic scenes where Bumblebee would use his stinger like so in the show. But again, I just wish, because if you split this, right, it's actually tighter there. If you split this, and then you try to, like, make it look like he's just, like, got him in his hands, it looks weird, right? Like, it just, I don't know, it just looks funky. I wish there was a way you could actually make them look nicer and they weren't on an angle. But that's just me. What are you gonna do? I mean, it happens. The other thing that you can do with the accessories is the two 5mm ports on the back of Bumblebee's bumper end up becoming on his back. End up getting to his back. So what you can do is you can obviously plug these in to the rocket boosters, and then you can just plug them here onto the back of Bumblebee's back, and then he can have essentially rocket jets that can propel him and allow him to fly if you'd like to do that. It's a nice way of storing them without actually looking all that awful. I think they look perfectly fine, actually. And so flip those out, and again, yeah, this is an amazing Bumblebee. So taking a look and zooming in here, that head sculpt is gorgeous. I mean, you can see the silver there, the blue for the eyes, the black outlines. This is animated Bumblebee at its finest, and it's amazing. Again, the Autobot logo there. Coming down here, there's not a ton of molded detail, but it just looks really good all the way around. I mean, there's nothing I see really wrong with this guy, and even if you take these rocket jets and you remove them, he is a very clean little bot. I mean, there is not that much. That's literally all that's there, and it's perfectly fine in my opinion. So now we'll just plug these back up, but that's pretty much it for the robot mode. I mean, this guy just looks really, really good, and I feel that definitely a very good figure and a great opening, in my opinion, to Legacy United, despite his small size. And so, because you can already see I'm doing it, for a quick comparison, here's Bumblebee. And here we have Bumblebee next to his wave mate Magnus. And yeah, you can see the size difference. I mean, I'm not going to deny this guy is absolutely a chipmunk comparison to this guy. Especially considering they're both deluxes, but there's different reasons why, and also I know that the reason why is obviously Bumblebee should scale with his other figures, especially Optimus Prime as well as Prowl, because he is the tiniest Transformer in the Autobot team in animated, which is for the most part usually true, except for Prime when RC was, but you guys get the idea. Bumblebee's meant to be small. I get it. I understand why. It's just I know people might complain about that, but I think it's very justified in this situation. But yeah, here's the size. You guys can take a look. I think it scales just fine, and again, I think it's justified why he is so small. So, yeah, that's it for comparison. Alright guys, let's get into the articulation, which is pretty damn good. So I'm actually just going to remove these just so I don't have to worry about them maybe falling off. But head is on the ball joint. You can't really get a full 360 because of how big his chin is, but you can get some really good up. Like, I mean, look at that. Like look at that. You can get like a full jetpack like flying thing with him, and then you can't look down all that much, but it's whatever. And then the arms will do not a full 360 just because of what they're on, but they do go forward and up about that far, and they don't go back too far, but you do get a supplemental joint here that sort of helps with that, so this can go really far back as well. So you can get the full back. It's just the shoulder section doesn't do a full 360. You do get fully articulated upper bicep rotation, and then you do get pretty much a little more than 90, actually a lot more than 90 at the elbow. Just understand that this will bump into the fenders on the wheel, so this might come apart, but you still do get some really nice elbow bend there. Obviously, you do get the full, you do get the full 360 here. Legs can kick forward, they can kick back, and then they can also bend at the knee a little more than 90 degrees, and then you do get minor ankle rocker. So you can't do the most insane articulation with this guy, but what I will say is you can get the poses you want out of this guy, and I think it's really, really cool. Overall, I think it's, again, very well done, especially given his very small stature. So, alright guys, reverse transformation is just as easy as the transformation going to robot mode. So, to start off here, what I like to do is, well, straighten him out. Obviously, we're going to straighten this little guy out. Do that. Straighten this guy all the way out, like so. Then what I like to do is start off with the arms. You can just take the fists and rotate them and just open these and leave them open. Same here, like this. And then what you can do is you can essentially rotate this and then just rotate this to the side, and essentially this little tab right there will tab right into here. Well, not really tab, but it'll rest in there, but just to give you guys a place to lock these in. And then what you can do, take these legs. So to do a leg, I like to flip this open, rotate the knee pad in. Then you can take the heel, fold that down, fold the foot up, rotate this all the way around, and then fold this back down on itself like so. Again, same thing here. So just take this, open it, rotate this around, rotate the knee pad in, take the heel spur, fold that in, fold this up, rotate this entire. If that's actually the first time it's ever come off. Shouldn't be that. Yep. Then rotate this all the way around like that, fold it in, and then you can just tab these together, take the waist and rotate it as well. Then you can take this whole chest section, you can lift it up, sort of rotate this back section down, then you can rotate this all the way in like so. Then take the waist section and untab it like that, rotate it all the way up, and essentially what you can see already is that there are two clear tabs here, and there's two holes here on the tops of the, on the feet or on the legs. Tab those in, take this entire section. You can rotate this down now if you'd like to, like so. Then you can take this, fold it in, and rotate this up essentially, and then what you'll notice is this little tab will tab into a section here in the side like so. And then you can do the same on this side, so you can fold this in, take this entire section, it'll take a bit of doing, and then you can just rotate the section like that, and then tab these into place. Essentially, you can see there's a tab right there, and then there's a hole in there that is the same size, and you just got to line this up correctly. And once you line up one side, you can get the other side very easily, like that. Then take these, obviously, and then you can plug them on here. I think that this is the iconic look for Bumblebee. And with that, fellas, and ladies and gentlemen, here we do have the Transformers Legacy United Deluxe Class Animated Universe Bumblebee back in his vehicle mode. And so, guys, for my final and concluding thoughts on the Transformers Legacy United Deluxe Class Animated Universe Bumblebee, this is a really, really good figure, and pretty much the best representation of what we saw on screen in the animated cartoon. I think that this is a great way to modernize the character while still keeping the roots to the original and really giving us that animated look for Bumblebee. Of course, there's some changes, but I think they are very tasteful changes that still eke animated Bumblebee, and I think that if you saw this character and you know what animated Transformers is, you would immediately say this is animated Bumblebee, and I love that about this figure. The only issues I have are that sometimes these sections here on the backs of the car where you plug in the rocket boosters look pretty ugly. I also think that the fact of the shoulders can't do full 360 is a bit annoying. But other than that, yeah, this is a figure, and I definitely recommend you guys pick this figure up without question. I picked, I have to give this figure probably a 9 out of 10. I'm just going to take off 1 point from the minor things that I said about the figure. But other than that, again, fantastic. I picked mine up at the Big Bad Toy Store, so I will leave a link in the description to that. I will also leave a link in the description to Amazon as well as Hasbro Pulse, so you guys can look at those retailers to see those. But if you do choose to try and look for this guy IRL, he'll be hitting retailers probably soon. Not too long, but I know that at least my local retailers and other local retailers I've been to still have not been getting Legacy United in, as it's, well, literally like the first day. I'm recording this on the 1st of January. So good luck and happy hunting to the rest of you guys. But yeah, that's about it, I think. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Also follow me on the socials linked in the description below. And with that, guys, I will catch you on the next video, and I thank you once again for taking the time to watch this video. Hope you guys have a wonderful day and happy new year. Peace.